All right, we are talking IT program management today. It is a career that can earn you 180K plus very easily while you're managing multi-million-dollar initiatives for big companies. Now, who am I? My name is Chris Schwenk. I am the Tech Jobber, host of the Tech Jobber podcast. Also have 18 plus years of IT recruitment experience. And I do a lot of these placements when it comes to IT program managers. They make a lot of money. They have great careers. And that's what I'm going to tell you all about. So recently I interviewed a woman named Nicole Williams. She is the VP of Program Management over at Univision Television. And she talked all about her program management experience. And really there's not that much of a difference between that and project management. It comes down to basically the program manager is managing multiple projects within one kind of field. So maybe you're kind of the infrastructure program manager, all the infrastructure projects at the company roll up to you, all the PMs answer to you. So that's kind of the distinction between running a single project to running kind of a group of projects in the program management space. Okay, daily activities in this space include a lot of strategic planning with the higher ups, a lot of cross-functional coordination across different projects and different teams. And you have to manage that budget because you definitely don't want to be over budget. That will probably get you fired. So budget management, risk assessment, and mitigation. You have to kind of see things that are going to go wrong before they do and get ahead of it. And also it is VP and director level stakeholder communication. You have to keep those guys happy to make sure that they like the progress of all the projects and where the program is going. So that is probably the number one key because you piss them off, you're going to get fired. So overall, these are roles that are heavy on the business strategy, but basically would have someone that has those project management skills to kind of coordinate with the business and use that strategy to make sure everything is on time and the projects are all delivered. All right, now let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, money. So when it comes to salary ranges, the entry-level program managers are a bit higher. They kind of go up between 110 to 140K, obviously way higher than entry-level project managers. The mid-levels are 140 to 190K. And a senior program manager, I've seen them go up to $250,000 plus bonus, some equity. When it comes to fan companies, I've seen as high as 200 to 300 total comp because those are some very high profile programs and projects you'll be working on. So really the comp comes down to the company tier. So when it comes to big tech or fan companies, those guys are making the most, 200 to 300K total. Those are the most coveted jobs within this space, and everyone is gunning for them. But even at a mid-level tech company, you can probably get up to 200, 220K for the right program management job. Again, it really just comes down to, do these senior executives, the VPs and directors, do they like dealing with you? Other more traditional companies, probably top out around 150 to 180. Still doing really well when you add in bonus and all the benefits on top. There is definitely less consulting work when it comes to program managers than there are project managers. So that's why it's more heavily on the salary side than the hourly rates, but there are some great consulting roles as well. So, that's also a route that you could take. You start your LLC, become a consultant as a program manager, and you're just a hired gun going company to company and delivering big programs, moving on to the next one for high pay. Okay, now one advantage to these jobs beyond the just higher pay and more visibility is there is a lot of industry transferability, because at that level, you're just dealing with higher ups mostly, and the PMs are reporting right to you. So industry knowledge, it's important. For some roles, it's very important, but it's less important than maybe a project manager role. So, you could look at different types of careers. You could look at a technical program manager where it's a lot of engineering teams, a lot of engineering projects that are reporting up to you. You'd also be coordinating a lot of the product launches with the product managers as well. Also, a lot of business program management jobs. Mergers and acquisitions, could be operational improvements, kind of stuff like that. Also, digital transformation program managers, where you're doing a big enterprise tech overhaul, kind of things like that. Also more of a organizational change type program roles where you're restructuring a lot of different processes or things within the organization and kind of working on the cultural transformation from kind of one thing that they're doing to maybe a more modern structure. So that's one thing to look at as well. There are also product program managers as well. So these would be kind of managing the product portfolio, making sure everything is up to par when it comes to go to market with that product. And then also there's PMO managers, where you're overseeing an entire PM function for a company. And those kind of obviously roll up to director of PMO and then VP of PMO very quickly. When you can get within kind of a PMO organization, get a manager job, you can scale up to kind of a great career very quickly. Okay, now when it comes to getting a start in these careers, well, quite frankly, it's not gonna be do a boot camp and get a program management job. It takes a lot of experience, probably within an organization where you slowly work your way up and then maybe transfer over to another company, really internal promotion from a project manager. And obviously you have to make sure that your organization has program management people in place. But if they do, then that's probably the best way for you to get into this field. So if you're a project manager, you kind of want to go up to manage a group of projects as a program role. Your company doesn't really have that function. You have to get out of there and get to one that does, even if it's a lateral move, because now you can move up to the program space. So basically the project management to program manager route is probably the most common and superior route. A couple other ways, maybe some management consulting people have kind of wiggled their way into program management roles. Also more uncommon would be business analysts, kind of making a step up to the program role. That's honestly gonna be pretty difficult with that path. But I've also seen product managers kind of move into the program roles because they're kind of like a natural transition as well. Okay, when it comes to must-have skills, it's not a lot of technical skills. It's a lot of executive communication, dealing with big egos, and managing the finances. That's the most important thing that you have to do. Make sure that each of those projects is on budget and is going to be delivered on time. Also, change management is a big aspect of this, making sure you kind of have some knowledge of that, and kind of being able to deal with multi-department stakeholders. So you're going to have to deal with sometimes as high as the CIO, CTO, depending on CISO even, depends on kind of what programs you're working on. So you have to keep all of those high-level people happy, because when they're unhappy, that's when you are getting the boot. Okay, now who should consider an IT program management role? Well, obviously you have to be very strategic. You have to kind of like the strategy aspect of dealing with these tech organizations. You have to be able to maneuver those big egos too. That's really one of the most important parts, because again, keeping those people happy keeps you employed and keeps you highly paid. So making sure you are massaging the right egos and while also getting things done at the people at the lower level. It also takes a lot of emotional intelligence when it comes to dealing with an organization. You have to get a feel for those organizations, because some people, they need a taskmaster. They need an ex-military guy. Some places, that guy will be way too much and will just step on too many toes. So it's really knowing that balance of how to push, but not too much. And when it comes to who should not consider these careers, well, if you're looking for a technical job, these aren't that technical. Also, if you want really hands-on execution, this is not for you. If you want a detailed task list of every day, that's more of a kind of like a developer job where you know exactly what you're doing every day. These are a bit more ambiguous. And again, if you can't deal with the stress and pressure of presenting to executives, dealing with egos, this ain't for you. Okay, now when it comes to career paths, there's kind of a number of ways you could go. You could kind of be more of a program manager, then go to strategy roles as far as director, maybe a VP of ops. Eventually, I've seen people go up to COO roles. Then you could also, if your company is big on the PMO, that's where you can just kind of go to more of a PMO portfolio manager. Then you can run the PMO, and then chief strategy officer at the very highest level of that path. But then when it comes to technical program manager roles, you could kind of spin that into more of a director of engineering type role. And then I've even seen people get to the CTO track as well. Also, an advantage of these careers, it kind of opens you up to maybe a path of venture capital, entrepreneurship. You're going to develop a lot of those skills when it comes to dealing with higher ups. And obviously, it's kind of very similar to entrepreneurship, where instead of an entrepreneur pitch, you're pitching basically to the higher ups to get more money or get an increase in budget, basically to get things done. Okay, and at those higher levels, you're looking at 250 to 350K as far as the director. Obviously, bonus, benefits, equity, that's gonna vary for company. Then if you can get to a VP role, maybe VP of the PMO, stuff like that, you're looking 400 to 500K at the right place. So these are very high level, high paying roles, but they are not easy to get to. Unlike some careers in tech where it's boom, boot camp, right to high level career. These take a lot more time, but at the high levels, it's going to be worth it. Okay, so in closing, if you're a strategy thinker, you want the high comp, and you like dealing with executives, you like that exposure, you don't mind the pressure, this could be for you. Now check out my interview with Nicole Williams. She'll go more in depth of exactly what these roles do and exactly her career getting up to the VP level of program management at Univision. Also, if you're in tech and you're looking for a job, I have the Tech Career Accelerator. I'll have the link below. Basically, it's a done-for-you service where we're going to reach out to anyone hiring in your field on a daily basis with a sales funnel personalized for you to get you to the top of the pile. Basically, the problem people have nowadays, they apply to a job and it's a pile of 1,000 resumes. So going directly to the HR and management, that's going to get you taken out and put to the top of the pile for an interview. That's what we do for you all day, every day. If you have any interest, click the link below, set up a call. Thanks a lot.